It's actually just a myth. Usually people they'll bitch about their bosses. I can't bitch about my boss. My boss is my father. My dad told me this one thing. We are also father-daughter and we are also colleagues. Discussion might turn into a debate. Keep it to your head. Don't get it to your heart. My father said this to me. Lage raho. Consistency is the key. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. I never thought that I will join jewelry business. I just went to Australia. Thought I'll climb the corporate ladder. My first job was at Pandora.
No way.
Second job was also with a jewelry brand, and I was like, why is jewelry attracting me? So I decided that if this is my calling, let me just follow it. We sell solitaires on daily basis. We are in search of a blue diamond for a particular client. We stopped doing Polki. In Polki, there's no transparency when it comes to buyback. That did not work with my brand's ethos and my brand's belief of transparency.
What comes to your mind when you hear Legacy Jewelers? What comes to your mind when you hear that third generation is running the business? Today's podcast is about unfolding many layers from these legacy brands, and we will know how exactly this dynamics works. Is it easy for them to show up and just say that they're third generation jeweler, or they have really worked it hard to be there? Let's join our hands to welcome Surbhi from Manohar Lal Jewels on this podcast. Hi Surbhi, welcome to
Hi.
the Jewelry Pod.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, and I've been following your podcast, and I feel it's like a dream come true to kind of share my story and have a conversation with you.
That makes me very, very happy. But thanks for taking time and doing this today. Surbhi, where do we start? You want it to be done traditionally, or you have some really exciting fact or a story to share with us?
We can start from I can tell you about a little bit about myself first. So even though I come from a jewelry background and everything, I never thought that I will join jewelry business. Once I studied after my schooling, so I just went to Australia and I thought I'll climb the corporate ladder and do nothing related to jewelry, nothing at all. I don't know what was it, destiny or something. My first job was at Pandora, which is a jewelry.
No way.
Yeah, jewelry brand. I think everybody knows about it. And after that, my second job was also with a jewelry brand, and I was just thinking, I was like, why is jewelry attracting me? Is it like something which is wrong? Not wrong. I would not say wrong, but it is something that is coming from within, or is it something that I'm just naturally good at? So I decided that, okay, fine, if this is my calling, let me just follow it. And that's when I decided to come back to India and help my family business. And also, then kind of because I had that entrepreneurial kida in me, so then I decided that while I'm doing my family business, I need to do something else as well so that I can make a name for myself as well. Like apart from being from Manohar Lal Jewelers, I should also be known as Surbhi Shekhar, which is who was also doing this. So that is why I decided that, okay, this is the path I'm gonna follow. And since 2018 I've been into jewelry industry now, and I think till the time I die I'll be in jewelry industry.
No, but surely we are talking more about legacy. However, you got me at Pandora. So tell me more how dynamics inside Pandora works, how you started with them. Were you at merchandising level? Were you on the sales front?
Funny story, because in Australia I was an international student, so I had to I used to get very limited money from my parents, so that was only for my rent and my food and a little bit for like miscellaneous expenditure. And I decided that this is not the way I want to live. Like, I want to have a bit more lavish life. So I decided that everybody around me is working. I should also take up some part-time job. And during that period, I did some really odd jobs. I painted nails. I was that ice cream scooper and server for people and everything. But that was not very interesting. And randomly, I dropped my CV to one of the Pandora stores, and I did not expect them to like give me a call or anything, but they gave me a call, and it was just at a very like the lowest level of sales, which was Mother's Day casual sales representative.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, fine. If you're paying me well and I can talk, so let's go for it. And from there I really started enjoying. Like, my main job there was to interact with customers and to just sell them charms, to make sure that the targets I'm hitting the personal target that they've given to me. So that was my main job, and I really started enjoying. I wanted, then I there was a vision of me becoming a manager at the store, and then working at the back office and all of that, and I slowly started getting there. But yeah, like, my basic thing started from like a basic sales stuff, and it was really fun. Like, till date, I think, even in Manohar Lal these days, I love doing sales. Like, I just want to interact with customers, ask aunties what are they doing, what is the color of their lehenga, and all of that. All just make like normal, like,
Mm-hmm.
fun conversation, so that the customer is also comfortable. They think that they're not talking to a robot, they're talking to someone who's also a human, and they're understanding what are their needs and everything. And in Australia specifically, the sales were very casual. So it was not like, hello ma'am, how are you?
Yeah.
It was not like that. It was like, hi, how are you? How can I help you? And with like first name basis and all of that. In India, it's still a bit formal, respect and G and sir and ma'am is there, which is really nice. But I feel we can add a little element of that casualness, so that the customer also feels comfortable around you.
Don't you think Pandora is for that casual day? And if you talk about your brand, I would enter, and I would love someone calling me Krishna ji.
Krishna sir.
And it's about culture, and I really love these nuances of Indian culture and how jewelers know what food their customers like, what kind
Yeah.
of chai they like,
Yeah.
how much sugar they would prefer. And well, that's something I
People
want to
come to our
discuss.
stores for bhel puri and aloo tikki chaat.
Is it?
Yeah, like they come to our store and they're like, पहले भेल पूरी खिला दो या आलू टिक्की चाट के फिर shopping होगी.
Oh, this is so cool, right?
Yeah.
Going back to your days and the campaign that you were selected for, it was for Mother's Day. But what really got my attention is details in the caption of your profile.
Yeah, Mother's
Don't you
Day.
think it tells a lot about company?
So, like, as you said, it was really specific. Pandora as a company is very structural. They know exactly what they want from their employees. They know exactly what they're expecting, their KRs, KPs. It's very structured. It's just, you cannot mess around with that. So when they even tell you that, okay, this is the job, you know exactly what you're going to do. It's not like vague. It's not that you can just come in and go and do like lunch, punch, brunch kind of a situation.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing of that sort. They know, they'll call you for, let's say, 5 to 10. That's your shift period, and you have to do these specific things. If your shift is for 5 hours, you cannot waste even a single minute. You cannot stand idle and just be like, oh, acha, customer nahi aa raha, ab main kya karu. You can't do that. You have to, if the customer is not there, you have to start cleaning the trays. You have to start cleaning the jewelry. You have to make sure that everything is counted. So everybody is given that job, so that there's no time waste, and everybody is doing something or learning about the product. Like, we used to keep doing mock sales. Even though I was there for like, even after like 1 year, every Saturday, Sunday, if there was no rush, we used to do mock sales. That how will you sell the gold bracelet, and how will you sell this charm, this particular charm, which is a Christmas new charm, for example.
This is so interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting, but I'm actually getting more interested in knowing more. And so, as an entrepreneur yourself, how would you define this? It's micromanagement, or it's a very classical delegation?
It's classical delegation. It's basically the top management knows exactly what the employees should do and what they're expected to do. So it's basically like how your head tells your hand to do something. So the head needs to plan everything, and then it sends those signals to your hand, and those your hands will start picking up water if you're thirsty, or if they'll start cleaning if they're seeing that something is dirty. It's not that hand is not deciding that, okay,
Yeah.
now I need to pick up, or
Yeah.
now I need to do something. It's the head that is sending the signals. It's the same theory that the top management will send you signals, and the hands, which were like these casual employees or permanent employees, they will keep doing all the tasks. It's that simple, and it's that straightforward, that you don't have to think so much. You are told what to do. Once if you're reaching that position of becoming that brain or that
Thinker.
top management, then you can give your 2 bits. Or even, for example, that they never said that don't give your 2 bits. If you want to give your 2 bits, give it before, like when it's in the planning stage. Like you can't, for example, you can't come on the day of Dhanteras and say मेरे हिसाब से ऐसे होना चाहिए था. You should say that 5 months before, when everything
Yeah.
was getting planned. So that is when, like, the top management will actually accept your 2 bits and your suggestions, your opinions. That is when you can make a difference. Not when, like, you know, when it's already been executed and you're told to execute and then you're like, नहीं नहीं मेरे हिसाब से ऐसे होना चाहिए.
बट
तो not
आपको
like
लगता है
that.
सुरभि ये बहुत ही एक अच्छी प्रैक्टिस है जो कि जूलर्स को करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ट्रस्ट मी, बिलीव इट और नॉट, मेजॉरिटी टाइम्स आई एम नॉट इवन टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्राउंड स्टाफ, डिसीजंस चेंज होते हैं मैनेजमेंट से भी.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
talking, I can actually tell this from my experience. Owner side से end moment पे decisions change होते हैं, and it is expected that ground staff should support it and should follow, irrespective enough assets or enough training is given to them.
I agree 100%, but you know, like, even the top management needs to know and needs to come to a decision and not change it. Like, they also have to be strong headed about it. They can't be all dicey that ye kar lete hain and then after 5 days say nahi nahi ye nahi ab ye kar lete hain. Like, you are top management for a reason. You're getting paid that salary, you're on that level only for a reason, because the organization feels that you have that capability to make strong decisions and to say yes or no, and stick to it. And if you are only being floozy and dicey, then no, like, your team is
cannot
not going to
expect.
support it. Yeah, like, they will be like, अरे इसको खुद को नहीं पता, ये हमें क्या बता रहा है type.
बट अगर हम वापस से इफ़ वी कम बैक टू योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सुरभि, जो चीज़ें आपने पेंडोरा में सीखी, क्या वो आपका सेकंड नेचर बन गए, या यू ट्राइड टू इम्प्लीमेंट समथिंग सिमिलर or near to similar at Manohar Lal's? Maybe you're doing things different now, what you learned over there.
When I came back and I joined Manohar Lal, I thought that I will try and implement all these things that I've learned, and I'll make this organization very, like, structured and very systematic. When I came, for the first 6 months, I was lost. I was completely lost. I was just trying to figure out that even though this is my company, how do I fit in? And luckily, I think it's all thanks to my parents, and especially my dad, that he gave me that space to breathe. So he didn't, like, impose ki, okay, this is the
Right.
department that you should head or you should work at. He told me, take your 6 months, 8 months, see what you like, understand everything, and then come to me and then tell me, okay, I want to start working in this department because my skills are telling me that this is the department I want to work. And then slowly and steadily you can start learning other things also.
And आपने क्या choose किया?
Because I was from marketing background, so I thought I'll be very comfortable with marketing first. So firstly, I thought that, okay, let me just give Manohar Lal's marketing a little bit of a turn and make it more international, make it from traditional to make it more acceptable to what, like, changing times and everything. So I decided to get into marketing, then sales, and now production.
Would you like to share something, a personal conversation of you and your dad on business where you guys are kind of disagreeing with each other, but at the same time you do conclude because it is for business interest?
So I will tell you a recipe of disaster that most of the business families, jewelers, businesses in general, like business families in general, they do with their kids when the kids are entering. Not recently, when I joined, my dad told me this one thing. हमारी जो, because now we are not we are also father daughter and we are also colleagues, so हमारे अंदर बहुत मतभेद होगा पर मनभेद मत करना.
Right.
So मतभेद is basically कि तुम्हारा दिमाग में बहुत मतलब there will be healthy discussions. That discussion might turn into a debate, but keep it to your head. Don't get it to your heart, because if you get it to your heart, then you will start disliking me and you will think that, oh, why is my father doing this to me? When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you like an employee in that 9 to 9 to 9
Right.
situation. But after that, you're my daughter. That's when you can come and tell me that, okay, I felt emotionally attacked, or I feel like you should not talk to me like that. But during that time, give me that respect of being your boss or being your employer, and have that trust in me that I'm only going to think and say good things about you.
Yeah.
I'm not coming from like a
Of
bad
course.
this thing. And that's when I decided that I have to keep my emotions in control, and I don't have to be right all the time, and I don't have to be wrong all the time. I have to tell him that, okay, I might not know this right now, but let's discuss it. Let me research about it, and let's discuss it, and then let's come to a conclusion. Because a lot of times I might say something which is absolutely right, and my father might not know about it because he's not coming from that kind of school of thought or generation. So he might disagree. But if you give him also time to, sit on it, marinate over it, he might also, like, come around and say, you know what, why don't we do the way you said it? So that kind of understanding needs to be there. And one more thing, like, I realized that my father did not do with me. When the kids join the business, a lot of parents, they make them like a glorified guard.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, like, if they are not able to handle accounts department,
Mm-hmm.
so they will tell their child to go to the accounts department and handle that.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have the skill to
Yeah,
handle
to
the
handle.
account department, but he becomes their eyes and mouth. So they will tell them कि तुम जाके ये बोलो,
हाँ हाँ.
and वो जाके वो बोलेगा, फिर वो आके उनको बताएगा कि अच्छा
Okay.
ये हुआ. So he's nothing. He's just a glorified guard who's actually just transferring information. He's not using his skills. He's not using his mind to grow that department. He's only just transferring information. That is something my dad did not do with me.
जो आप ये फाइन लाइन पे वॉक कर रहे हो, यू आर मैनेजिंग गुड बैलेंस ऑफ अ डॉटर एंड एम्प्लॉय एंड एज अ कॉलीग. कभी एंटाइटलमेंट का टैग लगा है?
Hamisha, every time. So it's a running joke in my friend circle that ये तो जाके गल्ले पे बैठेगी and all of that every time. So I think it comes with, like, when you say that, okay, I come from a business family and I am going to join my family business, it, like, that sense of entitlement, that silver spoon comes flying towards you. It's actually just a myth. Nothing of that happens. You're treated like an employee. You are given that time frame you are given the targets, given that time frame. If you're not doing well, you are listening inside the office and outside the office. Like, even at dinner table, your dad is going to tell you that tumne ye nahi kara hai, you better do it. So you're not getting a break. So this level of entitlement, it comes with a lot of stressful nights, heartbreaks, sometimes you, like, a lot of frustration which you're not able to vent. Because usually people, like, they'll bitch about their bosses. I can't bitch about my boss. My boss is my father. So I where do I went out? So that is when, like, you have to realize that you have to control your emotions. You have to be more understanding. Like, you can't be my way or the highway. You have to understand where he is coming from, and you have to also stand the ground and stand your thought process ki if I think this is right, then I have to make him believe that this is right. And this can't be done through fighting.
Yeah.
It has to be, you have to do it by action. You have to show him that, okay, this is how it should be done. Look, I have been doing it past 6 months. It is working for me. Let's start and implement this inside the system. So that is when, like, if there's no proof of concept, he's not going to take it. Because of course he's been in the industry for 30 years. I've been only for there for 3, 4, 5 years. So he'll be like, ये तो अभी आई, ये मुझे क्या बता रही है? So, but you have to make sure that you stick your ground and you work towards it, and then you make sure that, okay, you are giving him proof of concept, and then that's when he'll be like, okay, I'm proud of my daughter, okay, let's do this, kind of a situation. And I also feel that you have to be like water in family business. You can't be rigid. You can't come with this preconceived notion of मैं ये कर दूंगी और मैं ये कर दूंगा types. You can't come like that. You have to accept how the culture of that organization works. For example, if it's really desi, you can't just come in and make it super international. You have to first learn the desi ways of it and then try to implement the international ways of working. So I genuinely feel that anybody who's entering like family business, they should come with like a blank mind, and they should be open to learning and drop things that they have learned before, and then start learning again and start mixing with the crowd and start mixing with everybody. That's only when you can make a space for yourself, and not just be कि ये हमारी ओनर की डॉटर है, ओनर का बेटा है. Then you will be okay, Surbhi Shekhar, who is the head of marketing or whatever, like whatever your designation is.
एंड सुरभि, जब आपको ये लगता है कि you have understood this well, I'm sure it's not easy for anyone, you are able to put these words into a sentence after doing it yourself. So, and it comes with lots of experience, lots of dirty work, lots of you got your hands dirty while doing all this. That's why you're saying so today. What all dirty jobs you took throughout your journey?
So you really want to know what all I've done, like when it comes to getting my hands dirty?
I'm
So-
down for it. Please start.
So when I was at Pandora, so like selling was not my only job. As a salesperson, I was supposed to open the store, clean the store, like do a jhadu, and clean the store, make sure that the store is looking fine, it's looking attractive, do the whole visual merchandising, make sure that any earring is not teda meda, it has to be like sleek and perfect. We have to clean the counters, we have to make sure the stationery is stacked, we have to take the garbage, take it out, clean it, get the new garbage bag, put it like properly, spray the entire store and everything. So everything from A to Z, everything. And that gave me such a like, it made me so humble, honestly. Like in India we don't realize this, that it's so easy, like for us people who are coming from like a similar background, it's really easy for us. Like we don't have to think twice before leaving our room. Like even if like we sometimes we throw our clothes here and then we just leave our room, and so you come back and it's all clean because you have all the help in the world.
Yeah.
In Australia, that experience gave me a sense of responsibility. It gave me a sense of discipline, that whatever you're doing, it is your responsibility. You have to make sure that things around you are clean, things around you are properly organized, or else this will reflect badly on you. So even like while I was studying, I was not only just studying,
Mhm.
I was also working, I was also doing grocery shopping, I was also doing laundry, I was also doing everything. So it made me plan my day, it made me more disciplined, it made me do multitasking better. And it was honestly, like today when I see and experience like now when I experience all the comforts of life, I just feel like, oh my god, how was I able to do that? And now I'm like able to like just work and come back home and my food is ready, and I literally, it's just gratitude. And like I thank my parents ki thank you for making my life so easy. But coming back to the point, even like today, in Manohar Lal, if somebody tells me that okay, you have to go deliver this thing, or you have to go talk to this customer, or you have to go to the karigar and tell them kya galat hai, kya sahi hai, or if you have to go to Karol Bagh or Chandni Chowk or all these small areas where car is not able to go and you have to like walk or take the metro or whatever. I might sound a little snobbish, but it's okay. Like it's fun. You meet so many nice people. You kind of take that real experience, and that's how you grow as a person, and that's how you grow in your business also. Because if you're doing everything ऊपर से, you actually don't know नीचे क्या चल रहा है. What are people going through? Like somebody asked me the other day, मेकिंग चार्जेस बड़े हाई है, ऐसा क्यों होता है?
Mhm.
सो अगर मैं सिर्फ ऊपर से काम करती, आई वुड हैव बीन लाइक कि ब्रांड है, ये है, वो है. बट I was able to explain that lady that it takes multiple hands to create one ring, from CAD to manufacturing it, to then polishing it, to then certifying it, to studying it, then certifying it, then it comes to our store, then we do a QC, then if it's rejected, then we send it back. So it's a long process, and that is why those are the making charges. That is something
And there's
that
a reason the jewelry business is called value business.
yeah,
It's a whole lot of value chain that you need to respect, you need to consider before even asking such questions. Because and I think so Surbhi, आपको क्या लगता है ये स्टोरी टेलिंग की गलती है, ये लैक ऑफ स्टोरी टेलिंग है, लैक ऑफ फैक्ट्स टेलिंग है, जो कि वी एज इंडस्ट्री आर नॉट एक्चुअली शोइंग इनफ. आपको वो तनिष्का ऐड याद है जिसमें वो कारीगर की फैमिली दिखाते हैं,
yes.
एंड दे शो दैट यू नो दैट कारीगर इज हैप्पी बिकॉज हिज ज्वेलरी इज worn on Diwali, and so that he can also celebrate Diwali. I literally had tears in my eyes, and I cannot discount that ad after so many years. I believe tens and thousands of such ads should be made 100% to show कि वो making charges क्यों लग रहे हैं.
I mean, I completely agree with you that jewelry business is a value addition business, and it comes with its own odds and its own difficulties. So I just feel that people see the glamorous side of it, the shiny bit of it. Like, they're not seeing how much work is going behind it, or how much stressful situations are coming up every day, and especially if you're running like a company. So it's not just jewelry or manufacturing or selling that is giving you stress. It is also like how you are managing your staff, how all the SOPs are getting managed, how like the top management is managing themselves, and the lower bottom employees, they are managing themselves, because everybody is coming from like various parts of India. So it is very difficult for them to come together and be on the same platform and be of the same mindset. So that culture, that you have to imbibe that culture and that feel in each and every person who's coming and working with you and for you. And you have to tell them that okay, this is my, you have to have a clear vision first, ki this is my vision, I want to work towards trust, I want to work towards transparency, I don't want to give anything below this color clarity, and you have to stick to it. Only then your people who are working with you, that they can say that okay, these are the foundations of my company, and this is what we are working towards. And if you don't have that, then you will never, I feel one will never be able to cross that lala to corporate line. Like you can't have that कि ये भी कर लेते हैं, वो भी कर लेते हैं, मेरे कंपटीशन ने ऐसे करा है तो हम भी ये कर लेते हैं. नो, like I feel everybody is so busy chasing trends and the trendy songs and this and that they're actually losing a sense of what they're actually here for. My brand might not look nice if they are dancing on some reels or something like that. It might work for someone else, it might work for in like some other kind of brand, but that is not my brand's ethos. My brand's ethos is luxury, aspirational, and that is what I want to show to my customers, that if you're wearing Manohar Lal's jewelry, you have a status in society, you're wearing luxury, you're aspirational. So that is what I want to communicate. If I start doing like basic marketing, that is like I will just make a khichdi out of it, and nobody is going to say ki everybody is going to think Manohar Lal ne standards down kar diye.
Right.
So that is like very important, that you have to say yes to the right things.
And have you figured out so far in your journey what are the right things for Manohar Lal and what are the wrong things for Manohar Lal?
Honestly, Krishna, I'll tell you something. This is about business. ये धंधे की बात है. And अगर आप ये सब छोड़ के आपका जो एसेट अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, फॉर एग्जांपल आपके एक मस्ट हैव कैटेगरी है और वो बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है, और आपने देख लिया कि अरे सम ब्रांड हैज़ लॉन्च सम न्यू डिज़ाइन और उसको मेरे को लेकर आना चाहिए, एंड ओके फॉर एक्सपेरिमेंटल पर्पसेस आप उसको लेकर आए, बट इट इज़ नॉट परफॉर्मिंग. It might perform for somebody else. It might not perform for you because that is not your TG. अगर आप ट्रेंड्स के पीछे भागते रहोगे और आप वो नहीं देखोगे कि आपके कस्टमर्स को क्या चाहिए या फिर आपका जो TG है वो आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है, then you will lose your customer and you will also not do very well with the trend and everything. So you have to know that what is your basic brand ethos. So coming back to your question, that if I figured out my rights and wrongs, I think right and wrong can only be judged by numbers. There are basic stats that you have to look at every day. You have to see which client is performing really well. You have to see which category is performing well, and then you have to innovate towards it. You have to make sure that you are servicing that client regularly. You are making that category better. You're innovating in that category. And if the category is not performing well, then have the heart to close it or to shut it. Don't think that, okay, this I have invested so much, this should we should keep pushing. No, if it's not performing, it's not performing for a reason. Shut it down, take that money, put it in your performing assets, and then see that, okay, the things you're known for, you will do much better. Like in Delhi, we recently stopped doing polki.
No way.
And yeah,
That's a
and
daring move.
hard call. So we decided to kill our polki section, our polki line in Delhi market, where everybody was going after polkis, and we decided that no, this is not our thing. We are going to stop it, because in polki there's no transparency when it comes to buyback, because it's all wax filled, and you can't tell your customer that okay, इतने का लिया है और फिर उसमें से इतना इतना कटेगा, फिर वो उसको एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है कि इसमें गोल्ड का मुझे क्या क्या मिल जाएगा, और गोल्ड का प्राइस इतना ऊपर हो चुका है. बट व्हेन ही और शी कम्स बैक विद दैट ज्वेलरी, उसमें एक्चुअली कुछ निकलता नहीं है. वैक्स का आधा होता है, पोल्की निकालने में टूट जाती है. I'm not saying polki is bad. I'm saying it is just something that did not work with my brand's ethos and my brand's belief of transparency. That whatever you're buying, it should get 2 folds or 10 folds in the future. So we decided that we won't do polkis, and we only do. And our USP has always been diamonds. We do GH color, we do VVS, VS clarity, and that is very unlikely in Delhi that we do it, because in Delhi I think IJK color is like more prominent, SI is clarity is more prominent, and people used to think we are mad. Who is going to buy all these diamonds in Delhi? And I kid you not, touch wood, we have like the best solitaire clients. We sell solitaires on daily basis. We have started doing colored diamonds. We have sold pink diamonds. We sell yellow diamonds on regular basis. We are in search of a blue diamond for a particular client, and I think we will be able to sell that. And that client, I will not take the name. He specially came to us and he saw that okay, because you are such good jewelers in terms of diamond, so let me see if you can do it for me. And he wants like this 5 carat blue diamond for his wife, and we were like ecstatic. We were like, okay, fine, let me go find it. And that only happened because we told our story that we are the best people when it comes to diamond. We are not that mixy dicey people कि हम ये भी बेचेंगे वो भी बेचेंगे. So हम सब कुछ नहीं करना चाहते. हम लोग एक चीज़ करेंगे और वो हम बेस्ट तरीके से करेंगे. So that is our brand's foundation, basic like trust, transparency. And like even like when this whole lab grown ka thing came, everybody told us that you should start lab grown. People came to me and they were like, be my partner, let's do a lab grown business together and all of that. It was like, no, like it's not nothing against lab grown. I've always believed that whatever I am selling should have an appreciation value. If I'm doing so well in natural, why do I want to mix it with lab and sell something which is mass made, or which is which people are not expecting from me? So I stuck to my guns and I was like, okay, I'll sell my gold and I'll sell my diamonds. And if people see me, see my brand, they will come to me. If they don't see my brand, I'm sure they will at least appreciate the fact that okay, this brand is not going here and there, and they're just sticking to their guns.
Having said that, Surbhi, do you guys have any expansion plan, or do you have any aspirations to diversify in different direction down the line?
Yes, definitely. So I feel silver is the new gold, and silver market is going to skyrocket in the coming future. I saw it booming in US, UK, Australia when I was kind of working in those markets. And now India is ready for silver jewelry. We are planning to expand. So it's kind of my baby project that I'm doing, the entrepreneurial kida I was talking about before. So this is something that I've been working towards. So we've started this brand few years ago, actually 1.5 years ago, with one offline store. So the basic model is a multiplication model, inventory of around 2.5 cr, so around 200 kilos. And with that, a good shop where a person from every walk of life, from a auto person to a high end person, can come and get the exact same level of treatment, of customer service, of everything, of like the great variety, from ticket price starting from like a 300 500 to going towards like a 10 lakh kind of a situation, where you get like big idols and like big stuff
Yeah.
from silver, like home decor stuff. And that is something I want to cater to. I want to cater to a mass market. I want to make sure that people understand that okay, it's better to get silver
Mm-hmm.
jewelry than artificial jewelry, because that will increase in value in the near future. Artificial jewelry, you can only wear it like 2 3 times and it will actually break, or it might give you a skin rash or something. So it is very important that now, from gold and artificial, we start looking towards silver jewelry. And right now hallmarking is not mandatory in India for silver, but we do hallmarking. We do our 9 to 5 proper hallmarking, not stamping, hallmarking. We make sure that our customer is getting exactly what they
Mm-hmm.
are looking for, the purity, in terms of style, design. I personally look at manufacturing, purchase, and all of that of silver. So the new trends which are coming in, the most running trends, I'm making sure that it's a good mix. Like even if a teenager is coming to my store, she is able to find a good bracelet. Recently when I went to IIJS, I saw this massive bheed in silver section, and I was talking to some of these MNC silver head from one of the biggest jeweler, and he was purchasing for their brand. And I asked him, like, you guys are known for gold jewelry and you guys are known for your diamond jewelry. Why are you getting into silver? So he told me that if you're not getting into silver right now as a jeweler, you're missing out. Like, that is the train you're not supposed to miss. Like, you might miss the lab grown train, that's okay. Don't miss the silver train, because silver is going to skyrocket. And he gave me a very nice logical answer, because the spending class which is now coming up, it is the people who are in jobs, people who are earning, let's say, from 50,000 to a lakh to 150 1,50,000. So they want something that they can wear every day, and they
Mm-hmm.
can choose and wear. They don't want to wear one single thing, or they don't want to keep their jewelry in the lockers. They want to wear multiple things. They want to style themselves. They want to shoot their get ready with me and all of that. So have that mindset cannot come with a
Mm-hmm.
gold jewelry. You have to give them silver jewelry that is fashionable, that increases in price over the time, that comes in real jewelry category. So that was really interesting, that I learned from him, and I was like, okay, yeah. And it was actually
You
kind
guys
of a
are already on it, so it's not that
yeah.
you start it.
Yeah, so it was like a validation, honestly, that okay, whatever I'm thinking is right. Like even like these top people are thinking like that. So I was like, okay, cool. So like I'm on the right path. So yeah, like hopefully by in next 5 years I'll be able to get like at least 50 stores of silver in
Wishing
pan
all the
India.
best for
Thank you so
that.
much.
All these value points, Survey, what else you would love to share from your journey? Or is there any concluding message to the jewelry pod?
So there are two things that I learned while I was working in Australia, and then when I was working, then now that I'm working in my family business and getting my silver brand also. My father said this to me. He used to say, he still says, "Lage raho." So basically, consistency is the key. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Don't think that it's not giving me result right now, or don't think that nobody is noticing
Mm-hmm.
me. Just keep doing. Like even if you're doing one thing regularly, you will be able to excel in life, because then you will master that skill, and you will be able to, it will become muscle memory. How like one starts to cycle, and if you cycle regularly, it becomes muscle memory. So it's the same theory. Like whatever you're doing, keep doing it consistently. Don't lose hope. Don't lose yourself in that. And work should not be stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to run that rat race.
Yeah.
Ki now I have to get VC funding. Now I have to do this. It can be a way of expanding your business, but it might not be for everybody. You can choose your way of how you want to lead your life and how you want to expand your business, and you don't have to stress about it that, oh, everybody is getting VC funding, I am not getting it, so I should also do this or I should also do that. No, it's fine. Take a chill pill, take a breather, relax, do your thing every day, and things will automatically come into play. Like, I am a big believer of manifestation. I feel that, but manifestation comes with actions also.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just sit and manifest. You have to also follow it up with actions. So I feel that that is also very important. That believe in yourself, be positive, and keep doing what you're doing. You will be excelling at your thing. And one more thing I would like to add is that. From Pandora, that nothing is big or small. Embrace everything. What people are saying doesn't matter. It's about what you think about yourself. Like, if you think this is important for me right now, it's okay, do that. A lot of times, like, you have to miss out on the social events, like all your friends will go for a party,
Yeah.
and you have to get up early morning, so you have to miss that party. It's sometimes it's okay, it's fine, that's the part of life. Like, people think that I am my own boss, so I can't, like, I can go out for late nights and all. But no, it's not like that. You have to maintain a discipline, you have to maintain a routine, and only then you can excel. Otherwise, it is going to be difficult.
Thanks a ton, Surbi, for sharing all these great picks from your life. They were very practical. I never found it, and not at a single second I found it. I am not able to relate it, and yeah, it was very heart to heart conversation. Thanks a ton for bringing that up.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure, and I hope I was able to give two bits of my mind.
It was very useful. It was very. Let's leave that to our audience to interact and let us know how the feedback was. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do hope you found this conversation full of value. We shared lots of interesting things that Surbi has actually did, and this is nothing from the studies or the books. This is how the jewelry industry works inside out. Not a single management book can actually explain the dynamics of this beautiful industry. The Jewelry Pod is only platform where you get to understand the nuances of the jewelry industry up close. Do not forget to subscribe. Do interact in comments and all the other 7 platforms where we distribute this content. Let us know what interests you most, what you are intrigued to know. Ask questions, drop comments below, and let us know what you love to hear in next episode, and I'll make sure to bring that to you. Until we meet again, thank you. Done. I'm just reconfirming again. आप लोग save तो कर रहे हो ना ये सारा. It will give me brain seizure, you know. अगर कुछ miss हुआ तो I have to literally fly out tomorrow. Blood, sweat, and tears. I have actually invested that in my daily podcast. See, we were supposed to record in Mumbai, right?
Mumbai, and then it came. We were supposed to record in Dubai, then it came to Mumbai, and then now it's in Delhi.
You're flying for a family.
Yeah.
This is how things happen actually.